I don't know about you, but I've watched American Idol, I think, ever since its existence, really.
I'm fangirling right now.
Yeah, I am too. We have David Archuleta, who is with us. Hey, David.
Hi, Tia. Hi, Gabby.
Oh my gosh.
You said our names. Oh my goodness, I think I'm gonna faint now.
No, really. Okay, I'm gonna clip that. I'm gonna clip that, and then I'm gonna
How's
put
it
it on social
going?
media.
Oh my gosh, I hope the dog's found. I'm like, oh, I was
know.
hearing y'all
I'm
talk
so
about
sad.
it.
I will say, David, Tia is one of our best reporters, and she finds the
thanks.
greatest stories, and really helps people out in the the and makes a difference. So I hope that puppy's found.
Yeah, I
anyway,
hope so too.
we got to talk about you because
You're
we've
coming to
known
our
you,
area.
Yeah, since you were 16. And let's start with that. You have a show coming this weekend.
I do. I'm going to be performing. I'm so excited to be one of the headliners at Market Days this weekend. It starts at Friday at 5 and it goes through the weekend. I'll be on Sunday performing and I'm very excited. I'll be sharing some new music as well as some of my old music with a new little bit of flavor to it.
I know you have a new EP that's dropping August 15th, Earthly Delights. What can people expect to hear from you at Market Days this year?
My gosh, yes. Earthly Delights. So Earthly Delights EP, and I'll be going on the Earthly Delights tour. I've been calling it my flirty era. I've never really had one. And also my lover boy era. So I think people will get a little bit of that lover boy essence in the shows. I have choreography that I do now. It's really fun. I'm just trying to have a good time. I'm just having fun and want people to have fun when they come to the shows.
I gotta ask this because you said you're in your lover boy era. I always go here and I'm going there, David. Are you dating? Are you in love? What's the deal?
Am I crazy or falling in love? No. I don't really talk too much about my relationship status, but it has been fun getting to have the dating life and then write about it. And I feel like a lot of the songs have been from getting to just enjoy the dating experience more, and so I feel like people will feel that, I don't know, maybe I'll flirt with them in the audience, or they'll just feel the flirty vibes and maybe help encourage them to find their love too.
You'll see where it goes. I will say, David, I always felt like you were very down to earth, like for being a celebrity and on, stage and doing so well with your career. It just seemed like you were such a friendly person, so I bet people gravitate to you. You said that you have a little bit of flavor coming up in this EP, and I've heard some of your recent songs too. What is that flavor that you're adding?
Well, some of that flavor is getting to my Latin roots. I'm half Honduran, from my mom's from Central America, and so I've been doing more little bilingual things. So I sing a bit in Spanglish here and there, and that's been a lot fun with the flavor. The choreography that I do, I'm not a professional dancer, but I feel like it's therapeutic to get to express yourself through your movement in your body. And I feel like with Earthly Delights, I've been more in touch with my body, like sensuality and movement and feeling this confidence in myself. So it's a really fun place to explore, and it's definitely added some flavor.
That's
sure.
awesome.
I love the
Nicaraguense
name.
right here. My family's from Nicaragua.
Nicaragua. Wow. I've been to some Nicaraguan restaurants in LA. They're really good because I have some some friends that are they Nicos?
Nicas, yeah.
Nicas, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Nicaragüenses.
So I'm excited to hear some of these songs. Is it full Spanish or is it kind of a little bit of Spanglish, did you say?
Yes, I do some Spanglish, and what's funny is I tried to sing in Spanish before, like when I first started right after American Idol. But for whatever reason, I recorded my first single Crush in Spanish. And I'm like, I want to do this, I want to release it. And my label just was like, Spanish it's not really in right now, and we just don't really want to like spend money to promote that, or and so we're just gonna pass on it. And I was like, no. So now I'm able to get back in touch with it, and while I don't speak 100% Spanish all the time, I do speak it, like to speak to my grandparents and to my relatives. I speak to my mom in Spanglish. So I was like, I'm just gonna be myself. This is my era of just trying to fully embrace everything that I am. And Spanish is one of those things, and it's really fun. You get flirtier when you sing in Spanish, I've learned, and when you speak in it, I've learned. So, and when you dance it, it's just you just really use all your body and your hips, and it gets really it's a really fun.
It's sexy.
Yes, it's sexy. You said it for me. I was like, should I say that?
I
But
said it. Don't worry.
yes.
I'm really surprised that they wouldn't have wanted that. And the reason being is because I don't think you have to speak Spanish. I mean, look at Afrobeat, for example. You know, sometimes they're speaking
Oh
in a
my
language that
gosh.
people don't know, but you feel all of the energy through the music. So I'm happy that you were able to open up and be yourself.
Thank you. Do you like Afrobeat? Because
I
I love me
do.
some. I love Aomaf. I love Thames. I love Era Star. I like Afrobeat's usually what I listen to on my way to the car. It is so good.
It is. It's something about like that vibe that's in the music, kind of like your dance moves that you had going there. It's something about those vibes. Let me ask you this: Earthly Delights. What's in that title? Because it sounds so interesting. I would have
I
never come up
like
with
it.
it. I love it.
Yeah, Earthly Delights. I grew up very, very religious, very Mormon, and I loved that part of my g- growing up and my community. It gave me like a sense of belonging and like a sense of purpose to living. And I I try to follow like the Mormon path, which was basically getting I went on a mission. I left my career for 2 years after I released Crush and American Idol to be a Mormon missionary. And I went to Chile. And then you get back and you're supposed to get married and have a big family and be happy. And I tried doing that and I started realizing I think I I think I have to come to terms that I'm queer. And it was a very strong battle. And when as I came to embrace myself, I realized, you know what? I think this community that I've grown to love doesn't really is not designed for people like me. And so I left my church and I left my religion, and a lot of people are like, "What are you doing? And how could you do that? You're giving up your life for a bowl of porridge, the way Esau did in the Bible." And I was like, you know what? You may not understand, but I know that I'm doing the best thing for me in my life. And I'm learning to love myself when I always thought I needed to despise and hate myself to do the right thing. And really the right thing to do is to love myself. But a lot of it's kind of like tongue in cheek. So I'm leaving and doing like the bad things, the sensual things, and date e- dating whoever it seems fit for me to, regardless of if they're a guy or a girl, a guy or a gal. And so it's kind of like giving into these earthly delights and these pleasures, and going out to dance at clubs or um, sing about more like flirty, sexy things. And um, so yeah, it's kind of like this like carnal giving in to the earthly pleasures take of theme to my music.
It seemed like you got a little emotional when you talked about, having to leave in some ways your religion and what you've really invested in and believed all of your life to pursue really your true self. You're not alone in that journey. There's a lot of people that have been there and a lot of people that are there and they're scared to make the decision of what to do. What do you say to those
Mm.
people? Because some of those people follow you, they follow your music, and they just maybe they don't have the courage. What would you say to someone that finds themselves in the same seat?
Yeah, well, gosh, I really, my religion and my faith used to be everything for me. Like, I was willing to give up my career for it, for even for 2 years, and I was willing to do everything I could. I really did. I tried to start a family. I tried to get married. I was engaged 3 times, and each time I realized I wasn't being honest, and I was also taught that God was being true to yourself, and be honesty and transparency. And so I was like, how can I be true if I'm trying to lie and pretend just so I can fit in and be approved by other people? And I loved listening to gospel music. In junior high I would do my homework to Kirk Franklin and Karen Clark Sheard and Kiki Sheard and Tamla Mann. And um, I would listen to that music as a closeted kid. Sorry, I
It's
think you bring
okay.
out the emotional in me. Um, but I would listen to that music wishing that hoping that I had enough faith that God would heal me and change me or fix me. And, after spending 20 years of your life doing that, you realize, I don't think I'm ever going to change, and you become hopeless. And I was, just one day I was finally in 2021, I was 30 years old and I was praying and I was like, God, I feel like I must have done something for you to really not like me and punish me. And because no matter how hard I pray, no matter how many times I try to date the right girl and get married, it seems like I can't fix myself. And I don't know what more I can do to show my faith that I trust in you and I want to do what you want me to. And finally, God was just like, David, you need to stop asking me to change you because there's no reason for me to change you. I created you the way you're supposed to be. And I was just like, well, that's not what I was ever taught all my whole life. And God just said, you know what? People may, even well meaning people who try to follow me, do not see things the way I do. They do not see why I created you and many other people like you. And that I find joy in my creations and I want them to find joy in the way I created them to be. And there's nothing wrong with you. And if you think you're a mistake, then go and make mistakes because you're allowed to. I give you permission to, and you'll learn that you're not a mistake. And a lot of these things about like who you're dating or who you love, um, who you may fall in love with. I didn't love it, I wasn't in love like with a guy or anything, but it's like who you may fall in love with, even if they're a guy. There's I don't see there's n I want you to see the beauty in that, even though people think it's the worst thing that could happen. I thought it would be better to like cut my life short than to risk falling in love with a guy. But I realized, if I allow myself to be in a consent a two adults consenting in a relationship, it doesn't matter the gender, and there's beauty and there's joy and there's love, there's belonging and purpose. And I yeah, I just decided to walk like in faith in that, and it's changed my life, and I've never felt so much. I didn't know I could have self-love. I thought I had some kind of self-love, but now those last 4 years I've realized this is what self-love feels like. It's given me new confidence, new energy, and I feel like I've been like born again.
Thanks for sharing that.
You're such a
And
beautiful
God loves you
person.
too.
You're such a
Just so
beautiful
you know.
person.
I
Thank
know
you.
you know that, but still.
I know myself and so
Thank
many
you.
others
You
just
brought
felt
me to
even
tears,
more
so.
in love with you. Me too. David, quickly, I know that you're coming out with a memoir. You gave us a little bit of more of an insight of your journey, and I know that you're probably going to share more in this memoir. Tell us what it's called and where people can find it.
Yeah, oh my gosh. It's it is a little like on the heavier side because it's a lot of this journey that I was talking about, but it's called Devout. It'll be out in February of this next coming February, and it's about my journey of, being a kid on American Idol, a Mormon boy who grew up in Miami and in Florida, and in Utah, and I talk about my engagements and how I really just tried to do what what I believed was the right thing, up until to today. I still try to do what I feel is the right thing for myself, and whatever can help people just find joy and fun